She's accusing me of rape, of raping her. The worst thing you can do, the worst charge. And you know it's not true too. You're a political operative also. You're a disgrace. But she's accusing me, and so are you, of rape, and it never took place. And I will tell you, I made that statement, and I said, while it's politically incorrect, she's not my type. And that's 100% true. She's not my type.
And then he went on to tell the lawyer that she isn't his type either. That was during the depositions, which were played in court, even though Donald Trump did not present a defense in the case. The evidence is now in. Closing arguments have wrapped up. Manhattan jury will begin to deliberate tomorrow. The case of E. Jean Carroll says the former president raped her in a department store in the 1990s. Let's go inside the courtroom, bring in Adam Klasfeld, Law and Crimes Managing Editor. All right, Adam, are we expecting the jury to get the case first thing tomorrow morning?
Yes, we are, Dan. First, the judge, of course, is going to instruct the jury, and then they'll consider the case for the first time.
And there are 9 jurors, and you were the one who had to confirm for me this has to be a unanimous jury, even though that's not the case in all civil trials.
That's absolutely correct. Because it's a federal case happening under federal jurisdiction, the jury must be unanimous.
And any reading of the jury? 9 people in there so far. Have they been paying close attention to what's been going on?
It seems that they've been attentive throughout the trial. They've been listening to the evidence, and they heard closing arguments today. We have a panel of 6 men and 3 women. That's a composition, apparently a very diverse jury. And they are going to they've obviously heard a lot of evidence from E. Jean Carroll's side, 11 witnesses, a lot of stuff to process, and they have heard again and again from E. Jean Carroll's attorneys that Trump did not present a defense case because they did not.
Adam, let's stick around if you can, because I want to bring back in Diana Florence, a former prosecutor, and Sara Azari. So the requirement of being unanimous here, that could lead to a hung jury, right?
Sure.
I mean, that could create a situation where you have 7 or 8 who say, yeah, and it's a Manhattan jury, too,
yes,
which I think helps E. Jean Carroll a lot, right?
I think it does.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the jury that Donald Trump wants.
No, definitely not.
Manhattan juries are very sophisticated.
And they're also liberal. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they're both, right? But in terms of a jury that Donald Trump wants, this is not the jury that he wants. I don't think, unless...
No.
Yeah, okay.
I agree.
All right. Let me play another piece of sound. This is from more of the deposition, which is just fascinating stuff. This was an interesting interchange where Trump's lawyer was trying to show sort of his hypocrisy and then made it kind of a political debate about mail-in ballots, et cetera. This is number 12. Let's listen.
This ridiculous situation that we're doing right. It's a big fat hoax. She's a liar, and she's a sick person, in my opinion, really sick. Something wrong with her.
Okay. In addition to the Russia hoax, the Ukraine hoax, the Mueller hoax, the lying to FISA hoax, the lying to Congress hoax, and the spying on your campaign hoax, isn't it true that you also referred to the use of mail-in ballots as a hoax?
Yeah, I do. Sure. I do. I think they're very dishonest. Mail-in ballots, very dishonest.
And isn't it true that you yourself have voted by mail?
I do. Sometimes I do, but I don't know what happens to it once you give it. I have no idea.
Didn't seem to me like this was a particularly effective line of questioning. I mean, she's trying to show that he's a hypocrite, right?
Right.
But
I actually think it helps the defense, and the defense didn't really argue it. What I would argue is this is just opinion. You know, when he calls all these different things hoaxes, it's just the guy doesn't like to be investigated for anything, and he's just calling it a hoax. It's not that he's stating a fact and saying it's in fact a hoax, calling her a liar, which then would be defamatory.
How much is politics going to come into the deliberation process? I mean, the defense has made this very much about politics, saying that Lisa Birnbach, who was one of the corroborating witnesses,
Sure.
was, a Democrat, that E. Jean Carroll is a Democrat. How much do you think politics is going to come into the deliberative process?
Well, I think that they were voir dired very clearly about politics, and they're supposed to put their politics aside and their biases. They're supposed to base their verdict on the evidence. So I don't think that it's going to be, Republicans on this side, Democrats on the other, such that there are in Manhattan. Or even, I think that this jury, I do have faith in the jury system. They're going to look at the evidence, and they are going to hold them to their burden. Unfortunately for Mr. Trump, I think that they've met it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.